Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for allowing me to appear before the Ag Committee today. And Ranking Member Peterson, your concerns that you just expressed are some that we've debated in the Ways and Means meetings that we've had on tax reform as well. And that's one of the things that I've been grateful for, is that I've been able to bring an agriculture perspective to those discussions, talk about the industry, how it is highly leveraged at times when producers are buying land with loans, then making loans to purchase machinery, then having an operating loan every year too. We have to be careful what we do, that we keep their operations viable. So I appreciate you expressing those concerns, and we'll continue to work for a tax code that works for everybody. It's an honor, and it always has been an honor for me to fight alongside of you for agriculture, and it was an honor for me to serve on this committee for many years. We advocated for those who feed the world, and were able to pass a strong farm bill in 2014. We all know there were challenges in getting that legislation to the finish line, but we proved once again that there's no job too hard that farmers can't do, and that isn't worth doing for our agriculture industry that feeds the world. Today we face another significant challenge and opportunity with tax reform. Just as the Farm Bill touches every single family's life because everyone eats, tax reform will impact everyone's life because we all pay taxes in one way or another. So I commend you for holding today's hearing. I know that some of the areas of the tax code disproportionately and unfairly impact America's agriculture community. This includes the death tax. As many of you know, my family was hit with the death tax when my dad had an accident on our family farm at the age of 49 years old. About a month after he passed away, our family got a letter from the IRS that said we owed money on land and machinery and cattle that we didn't have money in the bank. So it was very difficult for us to keep our family operation going. We took out a massive loan, but it took me 10 years to pay off that loan. And since then, I've been active in making sure that we are advocating for repealing the death tax. We weren't able to invest in our operation and make the kind of improvements that we wanted to because we had to pay on that loan every single year. And many producers find themselves in a similar spot if tragedy strikes their family. And that's why I've sponsored legislation to repeal the death tax, and was glad that it was included in the House Ways and Means tax reform blueprint. Additionally, what many don't quite realize is how highly leveraged that agriculture is. Many farmers take out loans every year only to put that money in the ground in the form of seed and fertilizer and hope that that fall there'll be something to pick up and harvest so they can pay their bills. It's especially true for younger farms and younger farmers who aren't established enough to cash flow their own operations. Ensuring that there's adequate cost recovery mechanisms in the tax code is essential to attracting and keeping younger producers on the family farm. Some use a combination of interest and expensing for operating notes and equipment purchases. Because land is a principal input for agriculture, ensuring there continues to be a cost recovery mechanism for land purchases remains a priority. And all this said, Mr. Chairman, there's one additional thing in common between the Farm Bill and tax reform. Provisions cannot be looked at in isolation. I encourage you to view tax reform as a comprehensive package that's aimed to increase opportunity and growth for Americans from all walks of life. Mr. Chairman, nowhere in the country is the American dream more alive than within agriculture. I stand ready to work with you and members of the committee to make sure farmers and ranchers can continue to pursue the American dream, and in doing so, our great tradition of feeding the world. It's great to be with all of you today. I loved serving on this committee. It's such a bipartisan group of folks who really care about policy to secure a safety net for our farmers and ranchers, but also recognize we feed the world. So God bless you for the work that you do, and use me as a resource as you go forward and look at tax reform and how it impacts the industry. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.